Hindi pa nagre-record. Okay, we're good.
Uh, Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting WatchGuard on this event. So, uh, by the way, I am the speaker. I'm again. So I'm discussing about cybersecurity, particularly on the home office or home networks. Okay, so again, thank you, and I will start by showing you some of the typical network setup of every house or small home office. Okay, so these are the typical setup of a home network composed of the internet. So composed of the home network. Networks, the internet. So these are located here. And then they will provide you some of the modem or wireless router. So this one. And then most of your devices owned by your children or you uh, composed of the smartphones. Okay, whether that is Android or iOS. So if you do have IP cameras, if you do have smart TV, you have your laptop, you have your desktop, and other IoTs. Okay, IoT is some of the latest technology on the your appliances connected to the internet. Okay, so these are the IoTs. Okay, so typically with this kind of setup, we had a lot of question, particularly on the security of the devices, and especially on most important is the security of our family also. Because if you are looking at the diagram, the internet is a big uh, market for unknown users that would probably, if you don't have gates or guard at your home, you probably can access all those devices connected to your home office or homes. Okay, so common scenario that we are looking at in terms of security in the home office or home. Okay, the protection of your children accessing malicious website or prohibited website like porn site, for example. Okay, how are we going to control that? How we are going to protect those our children on uh, uh, going to this malicious website, right? So our typical home router will not does not or might have capability on that, but we need to enhance the configuration. Okay, and probably due to this COVID-19, we do have work from home. So we are working from home. The question is, how are we going to connect to the from our home office and to our corporate? How are we sure that we are equipped with different security to to connect to the corporate? Okay, so IoT devices, for example, okay, some of IoT devices does not have base security features. For example, antivirus. You cannot install antivirus on an IoT devices. They have limited capability in putting some of the securities on that one. Okay, so are you going to secure or protect those IoTs? Okay, so in terms of Wi-Fi, so basically you have security on your Wi-Fi composed of credential, username and password, but um, how are we going to enhance? Okay, how are we going to know which devices or which users are connected to those our Wi-Fi security? Okay, so once there is someone connected on the um, Wi-Fi, so they could access your laptop, they could access your CCTV cameras. So how are we going to make sure that we can view the visibility on who are accessing our Wi-Fi and who are accessing our computers or our CCTV cameras? We want to make sure also that it's not the visibility on the devices, but also on the users connected to that Wi-Fi. Okay, and with this one, each of the family members had an email or had account on social medias, for example. Due to this COVID, they are what we call this uh, studying from home, right? So how are we going to protect them from phishing emails, right? So credential theft, which is I could get the credential from their Facebook, for example. Okay, so happy clicker, how are you going to prevent them or protect them from this type of attack? Which means it is a link connected to the attacker website. Once you click that, you are required to register because you won a $1,000. Okay, so the children know that this is an attack. They will probably input the personal details. Okay, and the attacker may sell that to the dark web. Right, so how we are going to protect our family members for this type of attack. And also this one, the popular one, the ransomware and other type or common malware, how we're going to protect those our devices, especially our family members. Okay, so with this type of scenario or this type of attack and questions that we had, the attacker, just to give you an idea, the attacker would this is the what they call the step or the series on how they will deliver and exfiltrate your data. Okay, for example, how are you going to put some malware on your PC when you are in the house, right? For example, or your home office. Okay, and each of the attack has a primary objectives, whether to destroy the machine or you will exfiltrate the data. Okay, your confidential information, for example, your data, your files. Okay, so how are you going to do that? Okay, so this is the series of steps or process they will use. So from reconnaissance, this is something like uh, surveillance. For example, I will have to know the background of the company, who are the employees, and etc. etc. Okay, so once I know that, I could send or how can I deliver the malware, for example, in that step two, simply by, for example, through emails, for example, or through malicious website, for example, and then I will going to exploit once it's already delivered. Okay, how are you going to install it? Okay, so these are the steps. Okay, so each of these step of type of attacks or a type of the process of their attack. So each of our firebox, our uh, appliance, security appliance, has a set of security services that you could turn on to prevent this type of uh, process. For example, you could kill or prevent them from installation, so they will never achieve their objectives because we already blocked their steps or process. Okay, so we could implement the APT blocker, we could implement the gateway antivirus and the intelligent AV. So these are two AVs. Okay, this is for signature based and this is for uh, signatureless. Okay, what if they already in the installed, successfully installed? So we could enforce a web blocker. CNC, it's a command and control of the attacker where the malware get information or get the command how they will execute the malware. Okay, so it required web or AT or HTTP or HTTPS. Uh, so from there, we could block those. So we could enforce the IPS and the DNS watch also. And red also the reputation enabled defense. Reputation enabled defense composed of a list of URL or website that has a good reputation. If it's below the percentage of a reputation of the website, it will automatically block those type of URL. Okay, so data exploitation. So this is the objective. So either we put some network DLP or we could block using our packet filtering types of security services. Okay, so this is just an overview on how attacker would impact our home or our small office. So to do that, we could impose security on our house or small office, an enterprise level network security at your home. So it provides you security, visibility, and control. Okay, security that would prevent unknown user accessing different access from our CCTV camera or our uh, laptops. Okay, visibility who are connected on the network, our network in the home office, for example. Okay, so what type of device, who is the user, for example. Okay, control, we could prevent them from accessing different devices, and only the administrator or only me access can access those devices, for example. Okay, so in terms of security, since I am working from home, so I could enforce a mobile VPN from the corporate. So I am securely protected in accessing the corporate environment, for example. So one is to secure communication between your house and with house or in coffee shop, for example. And site-to-site VPN is for example, if you are for example, an executive, for example, a finance director, for example, and you need to access corporate uh, facilities. Okay, so you could install our T20 for in the house or in the office of home office of the finance director to securely communicate with the head office using this branch-to-branch VPN. Okay, typically in generic term this is a site-to-site VPN, for example. Okay, so our powerbox can communicate to the head office or to the VPN of your head office. Okay, this one, for example, the head office. Okay, so they could secure the communication between your house and your head office. This is typically one. Okay, so in terms of policy management, I could only open ports specific design for example, your IoT devices. I cannot allow any others, or I cannot allow any other access coming from the internet. Okay, so this will limit access or to our uh, uh, devices at home. Okay, so web blocker, typically this is blocking of malicious website. Okay, antivirus, scanning of malware, advanced persistent threat for the ransomware, and DNS watch for specifically for phishing. Okay, so this is some of the advanced security services provided by our firewall. But to give you an overview on what are typically composed of our security devices, these are all the security devices, and we have two licenses suite. So this is total, and this is basic. So basic meaning you are not equipped for advanced security. Okay, so typically the basic security composed of only from here to here. Okay, so which means you don't have protection for any phishing attack or malware attack. Okay, advanced malware. Okay, so you only have the basic one for the network and security, but you can also only control the web blocker or the application used by your uh, phones or your children. Okay, so network attack, this one, and the gateway. Okay, so these are all typically a network. So we recommend the total security to provide you a complete security in terms of this latest malware that is spreading it through internet. Okay, so you are also provided with 30 days retention that you could uh, um, see within the 30 days the visibility on the network devices that is connected to your house. Okay, so typically, so this is the our perimeter security. But also you have the laptop, desktop also, right? So we could also provide you the end user or the user security. So we call it the password bundled security composed of this one. Okay, um, the DNS watch, the auth point, and then the our AD360. Okay, so what is the benefits for this one? It addresses security on this five: sa phishing email, ransomware, malware, happy clicker, and the credential theft attack. Okay, so what is going to do from with the passport? So typically, endpoint security composed of the advanced malware with EDR portion, yung endpoint detection and response. What we get or detected that is a malware inside on your laptop, we could do isolation. Okay, for example. Okay, so this is endpoint security. DNS level, for example, I heard the last January, I heard some of the types of attack that is spreading to the internet. Our typical modem provided by different ISPs, they are hacking that. They could get access on that. What are they going to do? They will simply replace the DNS of the our modem, for example. So they will put it the DNS level of the hacker. So every time you go to the internet and you type, for example, bank website. Okay, the if I'm the attacker, I have a clone on that website. It looks like legit website of a certain bank. Then you could input your username, bank account, password. That is typically storing on the attacker website. So it's very important that you know what type of DNS or what server are you using when you are connecting at home or you are connecting on the coffee shop or any unsecured access. Okay, so you have to have the DNS level protection. Okay, the auto point is typically is every time you use your credential, they will prompt to your mobile phones that someone is accessing this one or someone is accessing trying to log in on your laptop. Okay, they will prompt you that someone is logged in, and then you could do deny or allow. Okay, if that is not you, then you could deny that one or you could block that one. Okay, so that's the three bundle of passport service that we are offering. So these are the five security attack. Okay, and we could implement here the auth point and the DNS watch. Same with the phishing, ransomware and malware. We could enforce DNS and the endpoint security that we had. Okay, so unsecure access. This is typically the mobile VPN. For example, I am in the house. This one, I'm the house. I try to go to or connect to the head office. I will use the mobile VPN. Okay, so if I do have a firebox, like just for the example a while ago, the T20. So I could do a site-to-site VPN. So from T20, I could connect to the head office and do a secure tunneling of secure tunneling to access our corporate environment, for example, a server or any applications. Okay, so we could do that also. Okay, typically that's the how our this is the first step on in securing your house. So we could protect you using our passport from inside, going out using our Firebox T20. So typically, we will suggest that in the typical home setup, we could provide you with T T20. This one T20. This is composed of at least 15, 20 devices. Okay, and we could give you the full security, total security bundle for this one that would protect your devices. This one, all your devices, we could also protect that one from this big internet cloud. Okay, so in the sense, if you're putting the cloud either T20, you're protecting also not only the devices. Okay, you're putting also securities on your families from their personal identity example. Okay, so it's that we are going to secure them also on this type of attack. Okay, so with this, I will end my presentation. If you had any questions or any clarification, so we could uh, uh, let us know and we could answer your questions or inquiries. Okay, so thank you and good afternoon again.